Since late last year, the astute amongst you all started noticing a rattling noise in all of my videos. And to be honest and fair, I noticed it too. But I always thought I'm hearing the noise through my headphones when I was working on videos or doing something else on my workstation. The largest source of this rattling noise was obvious, my workstation. But the actual source wasn't. At first, I thought it was my T5 pump, which after inspection I ruled it out. It was working completely fine and wasn't making this rattling noise. The next obvious choice were the fans. Now, I was very sure that the 140 mm fan at the back and the two EK 3000 RPM Vardar fans in the front weren't the source. So it had to be one of the three fans at the top. Upon closer inspection, I narrowed it down to the two Corsair SP120 fans at the top which were making this rattling noise. Let's take a look at how these sound normally. As you can see, under normal conditions, the rattling noise is pretty audible and creates an uneasy experience. The temperatures are also normal based on my experience over the past 3 years of using these fans with this particular radiator. So let's take a look at how these sound under synthetic loads. I also measured the audio levels using an app, so these readings may be inaccurate. However, this will give us a good relative measure between the noise levels now and later on once we fix the issue. After unplugging these fans, I ran the tests again. This time, the temperatures were a little higher as expected, and the noise levels were more or less the same. Now this is happening because instead of 5 fans handling all the load, we only have 3. So they spin at higher RPMs and thus adding to the noise. But we no longer have that rattling sound. So now that we know the source of the problem, it was time to fix it. A week later, I got two 2200 RPM EK-Vardar fans, an active PWM splitter, and a few fittings in the mail, and it was time to rig this whole thing up. If you're not following me on Instagram, well, you should, because I was posting the whole cleaning and upgrade process as a story. So do check it out. The link is in the description. Now, I already use Vardar fans in this build. I've used it across other builds that I've done for other people, and I can highly recommend these fans. The only other fans I would recommend you if for some reason you don't want to use EK fans are the fans made by Noctua. And as you can tell, I also took this opportunity to drain my lobe and install the 50 mm extension fitting to the top radiator, so it no longer kinks the pipe. This allows for a smoother flow of the fluid and kind of does affect temperatures a bit. However, during the draining process, I did manage to spill a little bit of liquid on one of the SATA power cables, so I have to leave out the Windows drive that it was connected to. And so no worries, we can still boot into macOS perfectly fine. And instead of IDA 64 this time, I was going to be running the Geekbench for synthetic tests, and let's take a look at how that goes. And as you can tell, the rattling is completely gone, so it definitely wasn't the orientation of the fans with like how they were installed, and even when I tested it out later, they do manage to create that rattling noise even when vertically mounted. So there's definitely something wrong with the fans. I'm going to open them up and take a closer inspection, see if I can fix them, because they are still good fans. Not like they are bad fans, just I need to figure out how to get rid of that rattling noise. And as you will be able to tell once I play the audio clip, the fans make a very soft humming noise only when the system goes under load and the fans get up to higher RPMs. This is expected, and under normal conditions when the system is not under load, you can barely hear anything. I'm very sure that you're noticing this as I'm talking to you in this video, that there is no longer that odd noise coming from the background right there. And as you can see from the reading, like I said earlier, that we'll take a relative measure and we can clearly see a 10 decibel drop, which is huge. Plus the temperatures I am now getting give me some headroom to overclock my workstation a little bit. So once I get Windows running up again, I'm going to run IDA64, take a reading of the MOSFET temperatures and take a gauge of how much overclocking potential I have now. This whole reject cost me $150. It was very hard for me to justify this cost in the beginning. It's just 3 fans, an active PWM splitter and a couple of fittings. The import duties for this whole set cost me $59 itself. So once you remove the import duties from the total, things kind of start becoming a little justifiable. But once I saw the temperatures and the new overclocking potential I have, well, damn, color me impressed. And then I was able to totally justify this cost. I didn't have much choice other than to justify the cost somehow, but yeah, definitely taken it. But now I am experiencing a sort of sensory deprivation. I became so accustomed to that rattling noise that I actually miss it now. So if you're interested in checking out these parts that I just talked about, I'll leave my Amazon affiliate links in the description. And if you like this video, hit the like button. If you disliked it, let me know down in the comments what you disliked about it. And if you're new around here, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. I'll see you on Friday for the very first objective live stream. Cheers.